Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a white onion, garlic, honey, homemade cough syrup. So the thing that's been going around is if you use white onions and honey combined together, you just mince them up, you put them in a jar, reusable jar like what I have here, and you can just spoon feed that and eat that, or just eat the runoff of the honey, basically the liquid extract, and just spoon feed that. Eat that when you have colds or flus. If you're feeling run down, it helps with any kind of congestion you're feeling, especially in the lungs or in the throat. My concoction I want to do today is I want to add garlic to it. So one of the things about me is that I made a garlic and honey concoction, and I kept it in a reusable jar. I minced it up as best I could, and then I added honey over it, drizzled it over, and filled up the jar. Basically, I only ate little teaspoons of this at a time when I was feeling sick or run down, having a sore throat, or getting the cold or flu, for example, and it helped me get well. It helped me get well in a shorter amount of time. The thing about garlic and honey being combined together, it's a great antibacterial and antifungal. I learned from a documentary that if you put garlic and honey on some sort of like it was a fungal infection, I believe, in between the webs of your toes, you wrap it well, and you sleep with it overnight, the athlete's foot or fungal infection will be gone. So that's how well honey and garlic work together to fight that. And as I told you, my own little testimony, it helped me out with my colds and flu. Well, this time around, I grew some white onions in my garden this year, and I would like to combine white onions and garlic together in a honey-based concoction to help stave off the colds and flus that are going to be coming our way this year. The great thing about garlic and white onions is that they are actually cousins. Herbalists of old have taught me this, that I've studied, and they are, if anything, the best dynamic duo to put into a concoction, because they're going to do a lot for your immune system, any kind of congestion that you're having, antibacterial, antifungal, nature's antibiotic, basically, and to help reduce the time that you have a virus in your system. So I just thought, gang, why don't we just bring the family together, the garlic and the onions, and put them all together at home and have them help us stay well for this year while we go into cold and flu season. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is just how to prep all this up. We'll prep up the onions, we'll prep up the garlic, we'll prep up the honey. If you keep this refrigerated in a reusable jar, it'll keep for at least 6 months from what I've been told and what I was looking into. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up because this has crystallized a little bit, and we'll just add everything gradually into the pot, and then we will put it in the jar and let it set for a couple hours, and then we will have our homemade remedy. We'll have our homemade concoction. So yeah, let's get after it, guys. What you will need are white onions, the ones that make you cry. Yep, that's how you get those perfect antibiotic properties from the vegetable, the herb. Next, we'll need garlic. I already took the liberty of peeling off the cloves, peeling them apart from the bulb and the paper. So you can prep them up like that. That will be the first step, and then you'll have them like this, and then we will mince them up. Next, you will need local honey. Get local honey. I got this from the farmer's market a long time ago. This is an amber honey. It's a little bit of a darker blend. And we will go ahead and dollop this and drizzle it over our minced up white onions and garlic. Next, you'll need something to store it in. A reusable jar here with a cap, a lid. You want something that's going to stay. I figured since I have a small amount of onions and a small amount of garlic, more than enough honey to use, I figured a smaller jar would be perfect for this scenario and for the video. So, all right, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and chop off these little roots, and then we will mince up the onions first, and we will put them in the pot. All right, that was super simple. I got the little roots cut off here. Might have to peel these a little bit. They're not too layered. They're pretty fresh, little onion pearls, really. But we'll go ahead and toss these. I'm also going to rinse these off again because I did pull these from the garden a while back. I did rinse them off really well last time, but I just like to wash, make sure I got all that dirt off there just for good measure. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to toss this. Oop. Perfect, they're just in my hand. Rinse them off. All right, next we're going to peel these guys. So this one's got a little bit of a layer. If you have to, if you have what I have, then you guys may not need to even peel this. But just to be certain, I'm going to go ahead and take this little layer off here, and then same thing on the other ones. This is just going to be a really good example of peeling the onions first before you do anything with them, because all we want is the meat. We want this. Granted, onions are made up of layers, so it depends on how deep you want to go. But yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, and that's about all I had for a top layer, guys. Just that. So these guys are ready to go. We'll mince them up. So this is just how I mince up my onions. I chop them like so, flip them down, and then I cut them like that, just as you guys would probably normally cut an onion. Boom. And then from there, we'll just go ahead and mince them up. So while I'm thinking of it, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and actually put a couple dollops of honey in here. Good big old spoonfuls, and just put this on a very, 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 very low heat, just to kind of melt that crystallized honey that I've had in storage. I'm using this in bulk for like a ton of things, and cases like this for making concoctions. I also use them to make poultices and such. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up some of this honey though while I'm mincing up the onions and the garlic, and then we can just add it all in the concoction while that's nice and warm, and then we can pour it into the jar that I'm going to use for the container. And then yeah, we'll just be one step ahead with that part of the process. So this is the kind of honey that I'm dealing with, guys. Pretty crystallized, but we'll make it work. I think heating up and then getting the minced garlic and onions in here later will help the process a whole lot. Just wanted to get a head start on it. Hey guys, these are the minced onions here. We're good to go. Maybe some bigger chunks here, but this is how I've minced them up. I may do one final dicing and get them really good. And now we'll go ahead and move on to the garlic. The garlic's real simple for me, you guys. I just keep it as easy as possible. I basically just cut a clove down the middle in half, and then I just go off through the sides here. And just do that. And then basically I just cut up these other minced parts here, so I get really detailed with the mincing of the garlic. And then I basically just cut it like that. We'll do that for every clove. Decided to put them in the jar. They were really soaking up that bag. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and throw these into the honey right now. So that honey's heating up. We're going to go ahead and dump all this in there. Boom. And then I will just slowly start stirring it in. This is basically the consistency that you want for your honey for the concoction, you guys. Alright guys, this is the garlic so far. I usually dice them up just a little bit more finer. I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. And then we will add them to the onion and the honey concoction we got going on the stove. But yeah, about this small, a little bit smaller than this for how I mince up my garlic. Alright, it's ready. Alright, now I just dump it in there. If some of it's left in the jar, that's okay, because we're going to add the honey to the jar anyway. It can just get all mixed in with the bits of white onion and garlic that are in the jar. So we're good. We're going to go and stir this in. like so. All right, perfecto. All right, guys, then we just go ahead and pour it all in. Just like that. Perfect. Awesome. This is basically what you want. All right, guys, that is it for the video. This is how I make my white onion, garlic, and honey home remedy. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys do for home remedies like this. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.